Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Gio for footballbook.ca for week 13, lucky 13 of the 2011 NFL season. I went 4-4 with my picks last week. We're going to do better this week and make you some money. Here are the picks. The first game we're going to look at is Denver going to Minnesota, where this is a pick'em game. Despite the fact that Denver has won 5 of 6 games with Tim Tebow, and Minnesota's only won 2 games all year. Look, I was 2-2 against the spread last week with my ATS picks, but I made a lot of money because I paid more attention to this game and I put more money on this game. As a matter of fact, I've won so much money in the last 6 weeks betting on Tim Tebow that here's what I'm going to do. All the money that I'm going to make on this game, and it's going to be a lot, I'm going to go down to my local bookstore and I'm going to buy all the Bibles that they have, and I'm going to go downtown and I'm going to go distribute those Bibles to the poor in Tim Tebow's honor. And I'm not even going to be worried because next week I'm going to make the same amount of money on Tim Tebow again. Take Denver, whatever the points are. The second game we'll look at is Dallas at Arizona. The Cowboys are 4.5-point favorites here. You know, Arizona's only played 4 home games all year, and in those games they're 2-2. They're on a 3 out of 4 straight up run right now. I'll give you some numbers. Dallas is 3-12-1 against the spread as a favorite. They're 17-35-2 against the spread as a road favorite, and they're only 2-10 against the spread as a favorite of between 3.5 and 10 points. Meanwhile, Arizona's 15-5-1 as a dog of between 3.5 and 10 points. Dallas is currently on a 1-4 against the spread run, while Arizona is 4-1 against the spread in the same amount of games. You know, this could be a look-ahead game for Dallas, who goes home next week to take on the Giants in what will probably be a game that decides the NFC East Division. Let's take Arizona plus 4.5. The third game we're going to look at has Atlanta going to Houston, where the Falcons are 2.5-point favorites on the road. Now, Houston's down to their third-string quarterback. They're going to be running the ball all day. They have a very good running game, but Atlanta is ranked second in the league against the run. The Falcons are 7-1 against the spread on the road against a team with a winning record, and they're 11-5 against the spread in their last 16 road games. You know, Houston has a bit of a cushion. They don't really have to win this game because they're 2 games up on Tennessee in their division. Meanwhile, Atlanta has to win to keep pace with New Orleans in the division, or at least to keep pace with the other teams for the wild card in the NFC. It's a low price to pay. Take Atlanta minus 2.5. And the fourth game we're going to look at has Green Bay going to the Giants, where the perfect Packers are 7-point favorites. You know, Green Bay's beaten every team except Minnesota once by at least 7 points. They're coming off of a long break. Meanwhile, the Giants are coming off of the Monday nighter, so they don't have much time to prepare for this game. Green Bay's 8-3 against the spread this year. A lot of people don't know that. They know that they win every game, but they cover the spread almost all the time. Their only 3 losses against the spread were when it was in double digits, which this game is not. The Giants have lost 3 straight by at least 7 points or more. They have no running game. You know what? Let's take Green Bay minus 7. Here are my 4 over-under plays. We just talked about the Atlanta-Houston game. That number's 38.5. I said Houston's down to their third-string running back, and they're going to run the ball a lot. That'll take up a lot of the clock. I don't see very many points being scored here. You know, Houston also has a very good defense themselves. Let's take under the 38.5. Game number 2 is Detroit at New Orleans. That's a high number. It's 54. You know, New Orleans scores about 17 points more at home than they do on the road. And they also won't have to deal with Detroit defensive lineman Ndamukong Stupid, who got himself suspended for this game and the next. The average home game for New Orleans is 60 points all year. All 4 times Detroit has played under have come at home. And this is not a home game for them. And all 5 of their road games have gone over the number. Let's take over 54. The third game we'll look at is Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. That number's 42. 6 of 7 of Cincinnati's games in the last 7 games have gone over the number. Troy Polamalu is out for Pittsburgh, and that might help Andy Dalton and A.J. Green score some points. Pittsburgh's been following a trend where they go under, over, under, over. I've mentioned that a couple of times in my videos. This week they're due for the over, so that's what we'll do. Let's take over 42. And the fourth game we're going to look at, Oakland's at Miami. That number's 43. All I can say is this. Miami has played 10 straight unders. Okay, they match up well with Oakland's running game. The last 6 games that Miami has played, no team has scored more than 20 points against them. The number's only gone over 43 once all season, and that was that first game against New England. Let's take under 43. Here are my straight-up plays for this week. There's a Thursday night game as Philadelphia goes to Seattle. Both teams are banged up, but Seattle has no depth. They're missing their top wide receiver. Let's take the Eagles. Tennessee's at Buffalo. I don't think the Bills have won a game since week 5 in the United States. Let's take Tennessee. Kansas City's at Chicago. The good news for the Chiefs is that it looks like Kyle Orton may be the quarterback this week. The bad news is that it looks like Kyle Orton might be the quarterback. Let's take Chicago to not welcome back their former signal caller and pound the Chiefs. Oakland's at Miami. This is a tough spot for Oakland because they have to travel 3 time slots east, and it's going to be like a 10 o'clock in the morning game for them. Let's take Miami. Denver's at Minnesota. You know how Moses is part of the Red Sea in the Bible for the Israelites? I think Tim Tebow is going to part the Minnesota defense. Let's take Denver here. Indianapolis is at New England. Oh my, take the Patriots. Cincinnati's at Pittsburgh. The Bengals might make a game out of this, but I still think the Steelers will win. Carolina's at Tampa Bay. I don't know if Carolina can win 2 in a row on the road. Let's take Tampa. The Jets are at Washington. The Jets have to win. Let's take New York. Atlanta's at Houston. We talked about that one earlier. I like Atlanta. Baltimore's at Cleveland. You know, Hillis is back for Cleveland, and I think maybe even Hardesty. I like an upset here. Let's take Cleveland over Baltimore. We all know what the Ravens do on the road against bad teams. Let's take Cleveland. Green Bay's at the Giants. Green Bay will stay perfect. Dallas is at Arizona. I talked about that one earlier too. The Cards might catch Dallas looking ahead. Let's take Arizona. St. Louis is at San Francisco. That should be no contest. Take the Niners. In the Sunday nighter, Detroit is at New Orleans. The Saints should stomp all over Detroit in this game. And then there's the Monday nighter as San Diego goes to Jacksonville. You know, last week the Jaguars benched their quarterback, and then they fired their coach, and then the owner sold the team. It doesn't get any worse than that, or maybe it does with San Diego, who have lost 6 straight. I can't believe anybody would put money on these guys. You know, they ought to make a new brand of Kool-Aid called San Diego Chargers. You know, it'll cost you a lot of money. It'll leave a bitter taste in your mouth, and you'll want to pee in front of 80,000 people. You know, I don't even know who's going to win this game. I'm going to predict a tie. Let's take a tie in this game. 0-0, 2-2, 20-20, doesn't matter. Take the tie. Okay, those are the picks for this week. Sorry about the rant. Thank you very much for watching my video, and I'd also like to thank all of you who make these videos, which I try to put on my website, www.footballbook.ca. If I haven't put your video on yet, drop me a line and I will. I'd also like to single out a couple of the guys that I've been following the last little while. My buddy Devin likes to swing for the fences with his big parlays and money lines. You don't always win with Devin's picks, but when you do, it's a money bomb. Then there's Nate, who doesn't offer as many picks as a lot of people, but he's very insightful with the few picks that he gives out, and they usually are winners. I Live to Win hooks up with his buddy Billy B, and the two of them always have strong plays. And then there's the Football Guru. Big Boy's on fire with his ATS picks the last 2 weeks. I believe he's gone 8-0. Bam! Good job, guys. And for all of you that make these videos, I really appreciate them. And for all of you who watch, I appreciate that as well. For footballbook.ca, I'm Gio. Let's take the man's money.